This is KGW News at Sunrise.
I'm so happy. My boys are going to be so happy to have their dad home.
That is the wife of the off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot who's accused of trying to shut down a plane's engines in the middle of a flight. He's no longer in jail. Instead, he gets to wait for his trial at home. We're going to update the charges he's facing coming up in one of our top stories.
Well, the city is checking to see if the site for Portland's second mass-sanctioned campsite is toxic. But this is not the first time when the city says it's still hoping to open the campsite.
Then later this half hour, we're going to get to the bottom of something that's been suggested for decades. If you're suffering from a stomach ache, we'll drink ginger ale. If you're suffering from the inability to talk, if you're suffering from a stomach ache, will drinking ginger ale help it go away? You know, that's what my mom always told me.
That was 7-Up.
Well, it's 7-Up, ginger ale, those type of products, I think, is the idea here, Rod. This morning, we're going to lean on our verified team to find out if that's actually true.
Maybe the fizz and the sugar just emotionally makes you feel better.
Well, we're going to find out, Chris.
Yeah, we'll
Don't
see.
spill it all now. We are going to get to the bottom of our weekend forecast as well. That's why Rodney is here this morning.
Right now, let's talk about right now. Here's a look at the radar. Scattered showers out there. These are going to be decreasing in numbers. I still believe today, when we look back, we're going to say, hey, it was a pretty good Friday. We've got snow rates starting to lessen more into flurries over the Cascades of this hour. They do have a winter weather advisory right now posted through 10 o'clock this morning for the high country. Basically, the reports I've seen, 6 to 12 inches have fallen up there. 44 down here in the city. We have clouds. We have scattered showers. There'll be fewer in number at noon, 47. Later today, mainly dry, so if you have plans to meet some friends for dinner, maybe doing some Christmas shopping this evening, I think you're going to find pretty nice weather. Here's Chris McGinnis.
So I can finally get my lights up outside. All right, let's take it to Clark County. We've got one trouble spot right now up near the Battleground exit, I-5 southbound 199th Street. A crash right now has the left lane blocked, and in fact, our traffic indicators showing things are starting to tighten up a little bit around that. Here's a quick look at one of the WashDOT screenshots there. You can see, again, traffic a little thick on I-5 southbound. All right, we'll take you out to the west side, Highway 26 out near 217. We still have some road spray out there on that side of town, but no major issues on the Sunset. Here's a quick look at the Banfield. Traffic rolling right along, guys. No other major issues out there just yet.
Okay, thank you, Chris. The off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot accused of trying to bring a passenger plane down is now out of jail. A Multnomah County judge made the decision yesterday. Joseph Emerson is facing 83 misdemeanor counts of reckless endangerment and a felony count of endangering an aircraft. Emerson is accused of trying to shut down a plane's engines back in October while riding in the cockpit. The flight from Everett to San Francisco made an emergency landing in Portland. Emerson told police he'd been struggling with depression and had taken psychedelic mushrooms 2 days before the flight, and that he never intended to hurt anyone. His wife spoke to the media after his arraignment yesterday.
I'm saddened and that this situation had to happen to my husband and to these people that it affected, but I know that this has created a movement and momentum to help thousands of other pilots and people in mental health situations, in jobs that are in a sense silenced, or it's disincentivized to go get help and care.
Emerson has pleaded not guilty. He's due back in court January 19th and plans to return home to Northern California while awaiting trial.
We're also following up this morning on what investigators are calling a quadruple murder-suicide in Clark County last weekend. We now know the names of all 5 people involved. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says 64-year-old Stuart Rouse shot and killed his wife Christina, his 2 daughters Melissa and Christina, and his brother Ronald before he turned the gun on himself. It happened this past Sunday at a home in the Orchards area along Northeast 92nd Street. We also want to remind you, if you or someone you know is in crisis, help is available by calling or texting 988. That's the way to connect to a suicide prevention crisis center and a trained counselor.
A Multnomah County grand jury has indicted 2 Multnomah County Corrections deputies related to the deaths of 2 inmates this year. Deputies James Brock Miller and Michael Merceru have been each charged on a single count of official misconduct. Detectives say both men may not have performed their job duties as required. But in a statement, the sheriff's office says while an indictment is an accusation of a crime, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office takes all allegations of misconduct seriously, adding it'll continue to cooperate with the district attorney's office. 10 people have died in Multnomah County jails since the start of 2022. 7 happened this year. The 2 deputies have been placed on administrative leave, which is standard practice. We'll update you as we learn more.
The city of Portland is working on a second mass-sanctioned campsite for homeless people, but the land it's supposed to sit on in North Portland is likely contaminated with toxic chemicals. Here's KGW's Blair Best with more.
Much of the land along the Columbia Slough is known to have one thing in common.
Is a history of about 100 years of industrial use.
I've started calling this area a brownfield sandwich.
And right in the middle is this empty plot off North Portland Road. It will soon house nearly 200 homeless people.
When I first heard about this, I thought this site is toxic.
Charlotte McDonald lives about a half-mile away. Back in October, the city chose this land for its second mass-sanctioned homeless camp.
We can't place the most vulnerable people in our community on site of an already toxic site. It's just adding to their burden.
Lauren Wirtis with the Department of Environmental Quality says they found toxins in the site's soil 10 years ago. It was once used for boat manufacturing.
Where they broke things apart, cleaned things, repaired things, and that means a lot of different contamination over many decades.
Portland's Bureau of Environmental Services now owns the property. They're required to test the soil before any shelter can be built. Samples have been collected and are now being processed. The DEQ is still waiting for those results.
We'll probably find something. What we're waiting to find out is how much and of what contamination, so we know what risk that poses.
So if the test results show that the site is in fact contaminated, which experts believe that it is, it's not clear yet how much it would cost or how long it would take to clean up. But that would all fall on the city to take care of before they could start safely moving homeless people in.
I actually don't have a problem with this being a site if it was clean.
A city spokesperson says their goal is to open the site in the coming months.
I'm really concerned that the city is moving way too fast and doing it for some kind of other purpose. I don't think they just care about the people. I think they want to check a box that they did a solution.
Blair Best, KGW News.
And another project to address homelessness in the Rose City is now on hold. Multnomah County commissioners indefinitely delayed a vote on a plan for a community housing village in the Montevilla neighborhood. A vote was expected yesterday, but the Joint Office of Homeless Services asked for more time for community involvement. Now it's not clear when the board will vote on it. The proposed village would be at Southeast Oak and 82nd Avenue, which used to be an old RV dealership. It's expected to have space for 40 people with 29 pod structures.
This is a live look this morning at Pioneer Courthouse Square. We've got Tuba players on the bricks at 5:08 in the morning. How about that?
You named that song?
What the heck is the name of the song?
Something about
Isn't it Noel? Isn't that the name?
On the first Noel.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Is that the name of the song?
It has Noel.
Wait a minute. You
have a
can't
terrible
ask the
memory.
question, Rod, unless you have the definitive answer.
Well, I wanted to know.
All right, here's the deal. We're going to check back in with the tuba players and Eric Patterson, who's live at the square for us this morning behind the camera. There you see some of the details on Tuba Christmas. It's not happening tomorrow. It's happening next Saturday, December 16th. But the live preview is happening this morning.
There's
here
Noel.
on Sunrise. It's the first Noel.
first
It's gotta
Noel,
be, right?
okay.
I'm going to look it up just to make sure. Oh, producer Eileen says yes, it is called
Okay.
the first Noel.
Okay, thank you. You know, when I was a kid in high school, you were in the choir and you went to a number of facilities. You did the Christmas carols, and now I've gotten rusty in my Christmas carol memory.
Well, you can sing the song, but you're like, okay, what the heck is the name of it?
Yes, exactly.
I know the words,
exactly.
but what's the name?
That's a heck of a tradition, though.
Yeah, no, and I love that we're going to have more. They're going to get real loud for us starting at 5:30.
Oh, okay.
Loud tubas.
Great. Let's look at the big ball of moisture coming in for the weekend. So today we improve. We actually eventually become dry. Tonight we're dry. You wake up in the morning. Could be raining at the coast, but it'll be dry in the city, in Portland, Salem, Vancouver. But then rain returns eventually. And when rain returns tomorrow, then it's hours of steady rain all the way into Sunday from this big ball of moisture right here. Again, when you see almost a circular ball of moisture, it's almost always a warm front. And again, warm fronts are the ones that bring the hours of steady rain. So here we go again. Right now, we got some showers over the Blues, snow showers. We've got mostly snow showers that have tapered into flurries over the Cascades at this hour, but you can see the feed of scattered showers still coming in from the northwest into Astoria off the Pacific waters. Currently dry in Portland, dry for our tuba players down there, but scattered showers will be around. Here it is at noon. Now at noon, notice the number of showers that was kind of like this, not like that. So again, we're starting to dry out. And then I think if you have, this does show, get out of there. It shows one shower coming in around 5 o'clock or so today. But if you have plans this evening, generally I would expect partly cloudy skies, light winds, and dry weather. Pretty nice. All right, here come the clouds thickening up overnight tonight. Here's rain first thing in the morning at the coast. Now, I'm not sure if it's raining before noon tomorrow or if we're actually dry until we get pretty close to the noon hour. This shows at noon, this would have been rain starting more like 10. So the timing exactly of when it picks up in the morning is a little uncertain. I do know this. Once the rain moves in, it will be widespread steady rain all the way through the night into Sunday morning. Now initially this is snow in the Cascades and maybe some snow in the air out in the gorge, but look at 5 o'clock. No snow colors. Rising snow levels, remember it's a warm front. And that's rain all the way up through the Cascade Passes again. And here's a steady rain overnight. Now there's a trailing front. What this is showing you is that front kind of pushing the rain, wedging it down to our south and drying Portland out for the most part. I'm not sure if this is correct. You can make the case that that front stalls and then we continue to see at least light rain falling much of the day Sunday. So that could go either way. Here's how much rain we expect to get. And I do like these numbers as a forecaster. I think they could be spot on. About 1.25 inches in Portland and Salem, or a touch more, and could be over 2 inches of rain falling at the coast. So again, this is another absolute good soak. Timberline right now, we said tapered into flurries. Currently, it looks like they just have some flurries in the air. They're at 21 degrees. We've had 6 to 12 fall up there over the past 24 hours. Today, everything's winding down. Snow level's 2,500 feet. There goes the snow level, back up close to 6,000 tomorrow. Snow changing to rain. Rain on Sunday, and then we're dry on Monday. And take a quick look at your temperature. Find your city. You know where you live. 35 in Hillsborough right now, 41 in Salem, 28 out, 17 in Burns. Haven't had cold temperatures in a while out east. We do this morning. There's your 7-day. The rainy weekend, the dry weather Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. By the way, I did check. As of right now, rivers are expected to stay below flood stage. Back to you.
Yeah, that is good news. Thank you, Rod. In case you didn't know, today is the second day of Hanukkah. Coming up, a look at how people celebrated the first night in downtown Portland.